Man, welcome to another edition of the Alpha Geek Podcast. We are your hosts. I am Antwaine Brett.
And I'm Taras Denisenko. And I just posted on our YouTube page a screenshot of CNN breaking news. Diddy arrested.
Diddy, the D, the I, the D, the D. Yo, man. It came out at a time where like the Cassie stuff has started to kind of fall, by the wayside. People were starting to forget about it, and people were starting to forget about Diddy in general. Like he was like yesterday's news, and out of nowhere, it's like boom, it's like Diddy's arrested, indicted on what was it? Was it sex trafficking or human trafficking?
That I don't know. I just saw the headline and I just immediately just screenshotted and posted it. So
man, Diddy, you know what? How far the mighty have fallen, right?
Yeah.
Dude, it was a time where Diddy could do no wrong. Every song he put out was a hit. And he was like, Mr. Love, Diddy Love, everything is lovely. He's doing everything right. He made these, that Karma's a motherfucker, dude. You remember, have you never watched Making the Band?
Yeah.
That was Remember he made those motherfuckers walk to Brooklyn to get a piece of cheesecake?
Yep.
Now.
Yeah. And he was, I can't remember which bands, but he had a girl band, right? That was huge. He had
Danity Kane.
They were
pretty big.
Yep.
For a little while.
And then was there a male act that they had?
I remember.
But I remember
the band. Yeah, that was like the name of the male act.
Oh, okay.
It was like the band.
Yeah.
And they put out one album. Actually, I bought the album. The album was pretty good. Anytime you have a bunch of like really great rappers who are they're motivated by how good the other guys are, you're always going to make good music. Just like, that's why Wu-Tang was so good.
Yeah.
That's like, you had 35 motherfuckers and all of them can rap. All of them good. You can't help but have a good album, So that's why they were so good. And so that band was a pretty good album. I liked it.
I gotta tell you, I miss the days of like bands like Boyz II Men and Shy and what was the other one?
112. Talking about Diddy. Talking about Bad Boy. 112. You talking about? Drew Hill. Was it Drew Hill?
No, not Drew Hill.
Drew Hill. That was my shit.
I don't remember. There's another one though. It was Shy, Boyz II Men, and I thought there was a third one that was
Jagged Edge.
Jagged Edge
was good. Jodeci. You can spend all day from the 90s. In the 90s, it was cool. Like, it's total opposite. Like the whole toxic masculinity thing. It was totally opposite then. It's like you were crying on for your girl, doing everything, begging. But then on the backside, when nobody's looking, you like beating the shit out of her. I'm telling you, dude, it's crazy. Now it's like the flip of that. And now people in the streets, there's a very like, at least it can be argued that there's a very toxic masculine mindset, or at least socially they say there is. Right? I guess it depends on the situation you're in. But of course, we hear less about domestic violence. I'm not saying it's happening less, but we hear less about it because just from a social standpoint, we know that shit is fucking acceptable. Like you can't do that shit. In the 50s and, segueing, piggybacking off of the 50s, it's like, you come home, your wife's making dinner, you sit down, you lay back in the recliner, you smack your wife, and then you can't, now it's like, that was, if you went to work the next day and said, dinner was great, I had to smack my wife around a little bit, nobody's gonna bat an eye, right? Back in the 50s. Now, is of course, as it should be, it's not like that anymore, right? So, but Diddy doing it on a DL, finally got caught up.
Here in Virginia Beach, big news. As of recording this, Pharrell announced the cancellation of Something in the Water. So I'm just wondering, is there any speculation? Is there any connection to Diddy being thrown under the bus by artists who might have been talking with Pharrell, and Pharrell's like,
for sure.
I'm gonna lay low.
And it's play it safe, right?
Yeah,
because they're a few years ago there was some speculation that Pharrell was kind of in some of the scenarios, like so.
that's the world.
He ain't dumb either. Pharrell's not stupid. No. So if there's something trending, it's better to lay low.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know, like, you people, who that I know. Hit me up on a text and let me know what's going on, because I have some friends that are kind of have their ear to the street when it comes to this stuff. So, yeah, let me know.
Yeah, that'd be good to know. So toxic masculinity, toxic fandom, all that stuff. Other news, jump into Star Wars for a second. Have you seen Star Wars Theory? And there's Star Wars, I can't remember the other YouTuber, but it's come down to that the largest Star Wars YouTube page is called Star Wars Theory, and he is being attacked supposedly by Lucasfilm now and Disney. You've heard about that?
I have heard about this, yeah.
And that his fan movie, he got the rights from Lucasfilm, or he got the okay from Lucasfilm that he could publish it and he could use their content of Darth Vader, as long as it wouldn't be monetized. So come to find out, it's now being monetized by some company that is, I think, under Lucasfilm or part of Disney. So,
wow.
And so now they're saying, like, the biggest fan. So if you're a fan of Star Wars, like Star Wars Theory, and you follow him, he knows his stuff.
Right.
Where then Leslie Headland knows nothing, and you're ruining that whole thing. So it's like, he had 12 million views or 16 million views on that 10-minute movie of his, which is probably more than Acolyte ever.
More than people watch the Acolyte.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. So the agreement was he couldn't monetize, and then Lucasfilm went behind him and now monetize. So obviously they have full access to this movie as well. Wow.
Yeah.
And you're telling this man he can't.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it's not his only project, because he was, it's called Shards of Vader, I think, or Vader, something. But he has 3 films, or I think he's working on the 3rd one. The first one was live action. The second one was animated. And then he was going to do, I think, another animated one, or maybe it was computer generated, whatever. But yeah, it's pretty wild.
Man.
So all of the YouTubers, like Geeks and Gamers and a bunch of other YouTubers, are just like posting stuff. So I want to do my part, and we should do our part and say, Star Wars Theory, we got you back.
We got your back, dude. For real. No, it's crazy how you have such a powerhouse, right? Like Lucasfilms, Marvel, Disney, Star Wars, all that. Such a powerhouse. So you have the ability, and really in a situation like this, you have such a talented writer / director who's putting out these 10-minute films, and even if you don't monetize it, he's going to make money off. And it'll be real. You know, right eyes get on this thing. Why not work with this person?
Exactly.
You know, why try to undercut him?
Yeah.
And guys, I don't understand it. And it's not like you're hurting. Maybe you are hurting. Maybe it's based on stock prices. Maybe you are hurting, but you're not hurting in a way that, like, you can take or leave this project and you'll be totally fine. Why shit on this man?
Exactly. Exactly. But it seems like ABC or Disney seems to be doing that. Like they're this massive company. So now, and this isn't a political thing at all, but it has to do with the debate, which was done on ABC, where the moderators questioned one person and fact checked them how many times versus the other one, not at all. So like, and then it's Bob Iger is like this. I mean, he is the emperor. He's the evil emperor. Like,
Iger, man. There was a rumor that when they inked out the whole the Robert Downey Jr. Dr. Doom deal, that they met at his house. Bob Iger's house. And I can just imagine what that house looks like.
Seriously.
He probably got, man, I'm not even going to say what I think is going to be. What the things there. Might be some tunnels.
Yeah, right?
Might be some tunnels.
Yeah, it's starting with Diddy, and then it's going to go to Iger.
But I'm telling you, long as they don't bring Jay-Z's name into it, leave Hove alone. Leave Hove alone, y'all. I don't want to hear that Hove is part of this, man.
Well, I mean,
it's been rumored. It's been rumored, but
yeah,
he flies under the radar. He's pretty quiet when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah.
So man, but the last thing I want to hear is like, Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z, is arrested for blah blah blah. Man, ruin my day.
Yeah. Do you think like the old school guys, like trying to think of an older artist, but they, I don't know, they just wanted to make their music and just like be heard and just share. And now it's like, who am I trying to think of?
Yeah, In and Out. I mean, you got a bunch of guys, Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
He's, they get in. Nas. I mean, Nas is, and he's up there when you talk about from like a wealth level of wealth. He's up there with the Jay-Z's and the Diddy's, but you never hear Escobar. You never hear this stuff about Nas. So it's interesting. Do you think that when you have that level of fame / wealth / influence, do you think just the regular shit that that satisfies the normal person just doesn't do it for a person like that? Like you see everything. You've done everything. You've been able to experience things that the average person hasn't been able to experience. Do you just get dull to those experiences? So you just need more. You need like you need just crazy shit, just to keep you satisfied, just to make you want to get out of bed.
I bet you if you are super wealthy like Bill Gates, you probably do some weird ass stuff because you could do whatever you want, go anywhere. So you're gonna probably be part of the human trafficking and Epstein Island, all that stuff. But I think like somebody I know I've had some experience with a local Hampton Roads uber wealthy and super down to earth, super humble, super, the only thing they probably do is hunt.
That's it. Yeah,
that's it.
And maybe it just comes down to the person you are.
Yeah.
But I feel like I hear stories so much, like all the stories with Michael Jackson when Michael Jackson was alive. Like he, a man had a monkey. He had what they say his vices were. And I don't know if there's any evidence of these things, but I just think, man, I feel like you got to be a little crazy too. But also, if you grew up and that's the only thing you did, then you're probably a little crazy. Like everyone knows, or a lot of people know somebody who's been homeschooled, right? And I was not gonna, put you guys out there, talk shit about people who've been homeschooled, but I think we can agree that everyone that knows somebody who's been homeschooled knows a weird motherfucker that's been homeschooled. You know what I'm saying? They're a little bit more like, I don't know, maybe socially awkward more than a normal person. And I don't know if it's because you were homeschooled, but maybe it's because you just have less social interaction than the average person, right? Yeah. And so if you're one of these like the Michael Jackson and the Prince, and you're in the studio all the time, or you're Bill Gates, you're in the lab all the time, and you don't get the opportunity to have that social interaction, then maybe that lends itself to why you're a little bit more socially awkward than a normal person.
Yeah, I think that's it too. It's like you're homeschooled people, like, and I heard homeschooling is not easy. Like
no, it's not.
Or at least for the teacher that's doing, or for the parent or whoever's doing the homeschooling, is like there's a lot of stuff you got to do. But I saw a comedian talking about not Bill Gates, but who created the iPhone?
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
He's like, man, no way Steve Jobs is home with a soldering iron. He's like, I'm going to make the iPhone. No way, man. He's hiring people. He's like, it's so funny. He's like, I want my music in that device, all of it.
Yeah.
So make it happen.
Yeah. And I guess it is. But you have to have, just to get to that level of that height of that company, you got to put the work in.
Right.
You got to have a level of intelligence that either have a level of intelligence that's not like the rest of us, or have that savage devotion to being in that place, that work ethic that not the average person has, So
I think his whole thing was he wanted to create simplicity. So he had an idea, and then he just found people to make that idea happen. So creating Macintosh was the idea of simplifying computing and then they made that product based on that idea. So it just kind of went from there.
He did it.
He
definitely did it, man.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this Starlink thing, the Elon Musk's internet?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if anyone out there I have no experience, but haven't seen it. I looked on the website yesterday. I think I want to get it.
Oh.
And so if my understanding is they send you, it's almost like the size of an iPad, maybe a little bit bigger. You hook it up and it gives you internet, like 100%, like anywhere you are, you get internet, and like crisp, good internet. And you can take it with you anywhere you go and still have the same, like if you travel, you going on a road trip, whatever, take it with you. The equipment is about $250, and then I think it's $90. It's around $90 a month for the service. I mean, that's cheaper than Cox Cable.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, Cox Cable equipment is shit.
Yep.
Like when you go and you get cable service from Cox, the all-in-one modem is a piece of shit.
Yep.
The first thing I do is I go get a Nighthawk, and I want my own wireless router.
Yep.
My own wireless router, because their shit is bullshit.
It's garbage.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's cheap. It's cheap. That's how they make their money, I guess.
Yeah. Shitty equipment.
Speaking of equipment, I'm building another PC.
Of course you are.
So this time, in case there's any PC builders out there, I'm building an Intel PC, and so it's in the room right over there, and I started working on it yesterday, and it is going to be the best kick-ass PC. It's got a liquid cool fan system in it. It's got the i9 17900 core.
Speaking gibberish to me. Y'all, I don't understand a word he's saying right now.
But if there's any PC builders out there, you got any advice? I would love to write in the comments how you did or what case you got, because I just found out, and why I bring it up. The motherboard I got is too big for the case. So it fits in the case, but for the wiring I have to put in, there's like this cover that covers the wires. The motherboard goes too far, so I have to leave it out. So it's not going to be as pretty as I hoped. But for when it comes to video editing, it's gonna be a lot better than the one I have now.
Yeah. So how is it with gaming? Is it? I mean, the speed. I
don't know. I don't game with it.
Yeah. No.
No.
You all console.
Console. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. So I'm still playing. I just finished Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I finished all the expansion packs, and now I'm just downloaded the updates for Call of Duty, because there's a new Call of Duty. I think the beta just finished, so I think they've released it. The actual. So we'll let you know how the games are. How Call of Duty's going.
Man, yeah.
When's the last time you played a game?
Oh man, years.
Yeah,
years, man. I just don't have the time.
Yeah,
don't have the time. I'm having a hard enough time catching up on the shows that we need to cover for the podcast, but I'm up there like 2:00 in the morning just watching. I haven't watched Rings of Power yet. I want to get into that next.
Me too, yeah.
I was talking to a friend of mine today, and she said, so she's 5 episodes in, and she said it's way better than season 1.
Okay.
So, which is saying a lot, because I thought season 1 was pretty good. You know, a lot of people didn't dig it. I think the fact that it was running the same time as House of the Dragon was a huge like it was a speed bump for Amazon Prime, because House of the Dragon, I mean, they were eating everything.
Yep.
So now that it's not running with that, you know, we'll see if more people are a little bit more receptive. And they put so much money into the show.
Yeah.
I don't remember the numbers from this season, but wasn't last season was something like $20 million per episode or something like that?
Yeah, I'm not sure on that, but like I just honestly I didn't even forgot it was out, and I haven't watched the first season, so that's going to be on my list to watch for sure.
Yeah, man. Lately, I've been waiting for Hills. If you are not wrestling fans or Hills fans, Hills came from Showtime to Netflix, so Netflix picked that up. Third season in, and I love that show. Love the show. Always been a fan of it. Stephen Amell, if you don't know who Stephen Amell is, he is Oliver Queen, Green Arrow, the CW's the Arrowverse Green Arrow, and the show is great. is just, if you're a wrestling fan and you want to see a little bit of the drama behind what it takes to get to what you like to watch on TV, then Hills is for you. So,
okay.
But Netflix is still killing it.
Yep.
Still bringing everything.
We started watching Gentleman.
Or
The Gentleman.
Yeah.
Yeah, watched the first episode. I loved it when he's like, not for me. You're on your own on that one.
Okay.
Did you watch it?
I did not watch it, but it's in the queue. It's definitely one of those. I'm at the point now where I just don't have to turn off Netflix.
Yeah.
Everything I want to watch is on Netflix. So,
but it's on the first episode. The ending of the first episode ends in such an epic way. So
Really?
if you've seen it already, you know what I'm talking about.
The Gentleman.
Oh man, it's so good. But
so is that actor? Is he actually British?
oh, I don't know.
Okay, because in the show he's British.
He's British.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll be like, because I've seen him in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he sounds like Henry Cavill when he's.
Yeah, he does have a very Henry Cavill type of.
And then we moved on to School Spirits. It's
Let's hear it. Let's hear this.
School Spirits is about a girl who finds herself. She's dead. She's dead. So her spirit is stuck in the high school. She doesn't know how she died. And it's very reminiscent of kind of like Never Have I Ever to the one with Christine. Oh man, I forgot the other name of it, but it's really good. So she doesn't know how she died, so she's trying to solve it, and then finds this support group of all these spirits walking around this high school. So it's kind of fun, it's kind of dark, it's funny. So, but the actress from Cobra Kai, I don't remember her name either, but she's the main female, the one that's kind of the badass.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
it's pretty good. I like it.
Netflix does a good job of kind of recycling those actors and actresses.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't think that would be up your alley. A show like that would be up your alley.
It's up our alley.
There you go. That's why I'm watching Harry Potter for the 10,000th time. Kind of, still talking about the Netflix thing. WWE, they released, so Raw in 2025, Raw is going to be moving to Netflix. Commercial free, but they're cutting the show down to 2 hours. It's a 3-hour show right now.
Okay.
So, guys, let me know what y'all think of that. I know that was when I heard about this entire deal, that was the only thing that was a turn off to me. Like, I've become accustomed to a 3-hour show.
Yeah.
Now, without commercials, that really is a 3-hour show, but really, it's not a 3-hour show.
Yeah.
But because the lack of commercial breaks, maybe it evens out, which would make sense, because average commercial break is 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So you have 10 of those, 10 to 12 of those. So
cool.
Tell me what you think about that. Raw is going to be on Netflix. I mean, it's such a power move, man. And they're doing a lot. Netflix is doing a lot more live content now. I remember when they tried to do it a couple of years ago, and it went to shit. It was the Love Is Blind finale. They tried to do a live episode, and I don't know what happened, but it just never played, never worked. So,
well, they did the Joe Rogan live as well, his stand-up.
Was that live?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they did the whole countdown on that, and then they got the Tyson fight that's supposed to be live.
Tyson and my boy Jake Paul.
Yeah.
You still feel the same way about it? You still think Tyson wins?
I don't know. I saw a couple other things about. I saw a couple highlights of Jake Paul, and I was like, "Oof, he's fast."
He's
and
fast,
speed,
dude.
man, speed. Like watching the Canelo highlights, I was like, "Ooh, Canelo looks fast," and he caught that dude and like dropped him. So,
man. It's gonna be hard for me to go with the youth on this one. Yeah. I mean, Mike Tyson is Mike Tyson, but Mike Tyson is 50-something years old, 55 years old. So I just don't know. I don't see it.
Power versus speed. I don't know. Does Jake Paul have power?
Yeah. He got a bunch of one-punch knockouts. At right hand. He gave it to Tyron Woodley. I mean, he knocked out Nate Robinson. I mean, and of course these guys aren't boxers, sure, but still, they're, especially when you talk about Woodley, he's a fighter. He's been fighting for years. UFC champ at one point. Yeah. So he's not green by any stretch of the imagination. So, man, I just If you're betting money, who you betting on?
If I'm going to bet money, I'm going to put it on Tyson, because if he wins, I feel like the odds are not going to be in his favor.
Yeah.
So
really, do you think Mike Tyson versus anyone, the odds aren't going to be in his favor?
I mean, back when, but now today, like the more I hear about it and his ulcers, I mean, he's 56 or whatever year old.
I think Mike Tyson goes into this fight as the favorite.
You think?
Yeah, I think betting wise,
Okay.
I think he goes in as a favorite, because God, can you imagine Tyson going in as the underdog in this fight and then dropping? It's like everybody's betting on Tyson. If that's if you bet $100, it's worth it. If Tyson's the underdog, it's totally worth it.
Yeah, I didn't know he was. I don't know how he's going in, so I guess that's why I was like,
the dude, he looks good. They had him face off at the Cowboys game.
Yeah,
and he's big, thick dude.
Yeah,
old man strength.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, there's something to be said about that. Did you see the UFC fought at the Sphere?
Oh yeah, it was beautiful.
Cool.
It was beautiful. Card sucked.
Yeah,
card sucked. Yep. And I think they put so much. They thought they can phone in the card because it was at the Sphere, so visually it's going to be all, this and that. And yeah, it was beautiful. But other than the two main event, the main and the co-main, their card was shitty.
I heard that the Shevchenko fight was the only good fight.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Sean O'Malley got destroyed. I mean, he got abused.
Was that a surprise?
No.
Okay.
No. I just people, because he does have power, everybody hope it's kind of like the Conor McGregor effect. Mm-hmm. Conor McGregor fights these more well-rounded martial artists, especially these guys who are good at wrestling and good at jiu-jitsu. And on paper, they win every time, but it's Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
And he has that hard left hand. I mean, and he can put your lights out with it any given time. So he ends up going in and being a favorite. And then when he actually wins, they're like, well, we told you Conor was going to win.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, this only happened a couple of times. He beat Eddie Alvarez. Mm-hmm. Eddie Alvarez was a vet. Well, as a combatant goes, way more well-rounded. But Eddie was on the backside of his career. Mm-hmm. He was on the tail end for sure. Eddie Alvarez has been fighting since 2005, So yes, on the tail end of it. And so for him to go, and he did it to Aldo, everybody saw that. And so it was real easy to bet on Conor. But, when you have that same fight against somebody who is a more well-rounded martial artist and in their prime, Conor, you see what he brought to the table. Khabib, Dustin Poirier,
Mm-hmm.
He goes in. That's why he's not going to fight Chandler. He's not going to fight Michael Chandler, dude. It's not going to happen.
Because when's that
that fight was supposed to happen once last year.
Okay.
I mean, it's supposed to be coming up. I don't know, but Conor's not going to fight Michael Chandler.
Yeah.
He's way too dangerous, and Conor's way too rich.
Yeah.
You're not going to go in there and get your brains beat in for $1 million when you're, whiskey make make that more than that in a quarter on your whiskey. You might make that in a month. He has the suit line. He has the fight promotion. It's like, you don't have to do this shit anymore, dude. The dog is gone.
Yeah.
You might be Conor McGregor, but the dog is gone. You don't need to get out of bed and try to make ends meet by fighting. That shit is gone. So
do you think Conor McGregor then is so rich that he's got some freaky stuff that he's going to be doing?
He already doing some freaky shit. Conor already doing some freaky shit, dude. Didn't he buy a bar, he bought a bar just so he can ban this dude from a bar.
Oh, really? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, so he goes in and he had an altercation with this old guy at a bar. Guy sues him and they end up settling. Guy makes a little bit of cash. Conor turns around and buys the bar, this guy's local watering hole, buys it, and then bans him from it.
Yeah,
you talking about a gangster ass fucking move.
Exactly.
Here's $300,000. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But nowhere to spend it now because
Yep. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, but you have the money to do that. The average cat doesn't have the money to do that. And because he has the money to do that, the dude is not, waking up, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day to go to the gym. He might, on camera, on Instagram, show a video of that happening once a week or once every, month or so. Oh, I got up. The grind is still real. The kind of is back, oh, baby, all that. But that was for the gram.
Yeah.
Now he's gonna get on his boat, get in his Ferrari, and go to Sizzler. I don't know what he's doing.
Man, there ain't no. How many? What's the percentage of videos that go up on Instagram you think are actual real life?
Like the real life they live?
Yeah.
Man, shit, probably 20.
Yeah.
20%. Dude, I put shit just for the gram, and I'm a nobody. I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and do a couple curls. All right.
Look at that.
Yep.
Oh
spray some water on my shit, curl it up, boom, the gram post.
Oh man.
Yep.
I saw you posted. Did you put it on Instagram? You posted your fight.
I did.
Yeah.
Old fight. Yeah. I posted it. It was a throwback Thursday.
That's right.
Gotta remind fools.
When you ran at him, was like, bow, bow, bow. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that was the Antonio Mendez fight. And that fight was 2008 or 9. And it was, so Antonio was with the UFC and then got cut. And I was kind of like the next runner, I did the Ultimate Fighter TV show, broke my hand in the process, and now I was back on the circuit. And there was rumblings like whoever wins this fight, the UFC is giving them a call. They want either Antonio back or they want, so I went in there and just guns a-blazing, and it was my birthday.
Oh.
It was my birthday. 8-second fight. Jab, cross, elbow, boom. 8 seconds, out. Man, I was like, that was the best birthday present I could have gotten, man. And post it.
That's awesome. That was impressive to see. Want to jump back to some gaming stuff.
Okay.
So one of my all-time favorite video games, Borderlands, just had a movie come out.
Okay. I'm glad you like the game.
Yeah, the game's great. Open world game, super crazy. And the movie came out, and they thought it was going to be a big moneymaker. And I think it crashed and burned.
That movie was a piece of shit.
Yeah,
it was so bad.
You saw it?
No.
Borderlands. Oh, okay.
But it was one of those things where you see the preview. I have it at home. I have streaming. I have it, and you hear so many reviews, negative reviews. I haven't heard one. What did it get, like 13 on Rotten Tomatoes? It was something ridiculous. Like, why even make this movie?
Yeah, I don't know.
And you have a movie, a bunch of powerhouses, Jack Black and Kevin Hart, and isn't Jamie Lee Curtis in it?
Jamie Lee Curtis, exactly, yeah.
Nah.
I don't know. I wonder if they were coming out with it with hopefully because Fallout was a huge success.
Oh, it was great.
It's great.
Probably would have been better if it was a show.
Yeah.
Should have done a show.
Should have been a show. I agree. Yeah. But I was disappointed, and I was so excited to be able to see it because I didn't even realize. So I don't think he even covered. It was $30 million in marketing that it cost, and I think they only made like $15 million. So it didn't even cover marketing costs. Which I didn't even see any marketing of it until I saw Deadpool versus Wolverine the second time. That's when I saw it.
That's probably part of the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I saw any previews for it.
And $30 million seems like a lot of money for marketing. I don't know. But kind of staying on bombs, we had talked about it before, and I had a feeling it was going to be a crap movie, The Crow.
Oh,
where the director is coming out, pulling an Acolyte thing, is blaming the fans that so.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
I did see The Crow. I watched it on Sunday
because it's on streaming now. Right?
Yeah, I watched it on Sunday. Huge disappointment. Ooh. And we talked about it when we saw the previews for it. It was you have to stick that landing for that movie just because Brandon Lee is a love child of, I mean, when you think about people who have been like made a martyr in the movie business. You know, you don't get no bigger than Brandon Lee. His dad, you know, and then what happens to him on set. I mean, that movie, because a lot of people forget that when the original Crow came out, it was not a hit originally.
Yeah.
It took us some time. Mm-hmm. And I don't think this is going to be that because, and Bill Skarsgård is such a good actor too, man. And it sucks to see how it went down, but the third act was, I don't even know what's happening in the third act, dude. And the whole lead up to him, like his powers manifesting in him. I mean, he basically got his ass kicked the entire movie until the third act. Okay. And in the original Crow, he figured out, okay, I can't die. Holy shit. All right, let's do some cool shit with this. Yeah. And you didn't have that in this movie. You didn't give the lead actor a chance to really like kind of spread his wings as far as like you can do some cool shit. The dude can't die, but he feels pain. I mean, come on. He's sticking his ribs back in place and shit. I mean, you can do some cool shit with that.
Yeah. But. So even though you think Bill Skarsgård is a good actor, was it good acting or was it just?
I think in this movie, he's kind of confined to what is on the pages. Okay. But I do think he did a good job. Yeah. And it's hard. It's so hard because the movie was so bad. Yeah. But I do think he did a good job. And I think his character could have, I think they just could have unpacked it. Yeah. A little bit more character development, a little bit more like it's an action movie. Yeah. Give us some action. Give us something that we can kind of, sink our teeth into.
Yeah. I think so. The Crow is such I feel like it defined not a generation, but I feel like it defined the 90s in a way.
Oh, hell yeah.
Where you're trying to like bring that back and it's just not that anymore. It's like the rumors of Goonies 2 coming out and just some things you just shouldn't
redo.
Redo. It's just like too good it's too good the way it was.
Yeah, man. I couldn't agree more. Just some movies that you can't. I mean, I remember when the RoboCop remake came out, and I was like, "Oh man, RoboCop, let's go!" Yeah. And it wasn't the worst, but they should have left it alone. Yep. They should have just left it alone. If you want to do another movie about a guy that turns into a robot, in some way, shape, or form. I mean, and I understand you trying to use the IP to pump ticket sales. I get it, but. Man.
But it's proven that doing that over and over again is not working. It's just not working. Yeah. Redoing it. Like, when are you going to learn your lesson? When are you going to learn your lesson?
Yeah. But, so what are the ratios of these movies that actually do well in the box office? I mean, what is an old movie that was remade and actually
Twister
did well? Did that do well?
No, it didn't do well. That's what I'm saying. I don't know of any that did well. Like, and I'm like, who knew? Why did we need a remake of Twister?
Do we need a remake of Twister, dude? I saw it, I was like, what the fuck is this?
Like, who knew? And I think I saw some article saying the movie that we didn't realize we wanted to have done again or whatever. It was just like, I'm like, I still don't have any desire to see it. Like Bill Paxton, for me, like that's another thing. Bill Paxton was an epic character in that movie. He's since passed away. I feel like that's Bill Paxton's role.
His thing.
That's his thing. Like in any Bill Paxton movie, like Weird Science, you're not going to redo Weird Science because like Bill Paxton was the brother that turned into the whatever that gross monster at the end. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think Dune is the only one that really got some.
Which probably was better than the original.
Yeah, Dune was good. Did they redo The Fly? Did they redo that movie?
I think so.
All right.
Yeah, like some of those horror movies they've redone over and over again, and that usually works out well.
Yeah, because you can, I don't know, what makes the horror genre more successful with remakes than?
I think gore.
Yeah, people like to be scared, suspense. I don't know.
I mean, Scream Queens are like, everyone loves Scream Queens, I guess, if you're into the horror genre. Like, I don't know. Like, I followed Scream Queens for a while, and who was the latest actress that was the best? Like the last one I remember is Neve Campbell. Like, but So, but I feel like that genre has a very loyal fan base and a very specific fan base that will always go to it and always like it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not a huge. Me, generally speaking, is not a huge horror person. Yeah, I get scared. just the paranormal stuff, like Paranormal Activity, or what was the one where they were in the woods and they got caught, they got trapped in the wood, they couldn't find the Blair Witch Project.
Blair Witch Project, yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that scares the shit out of me. Like I can't sleep for days. Zombies, Freddy Krueger, shit like that, whatever. But if it's like the paranormal shit, like, you know, like that shit can happen for real. Let me get away from this shit.
Yeah. Did you see Jamie Foxx is going to be cast as I don't know if this is rumor, Spawn?
Spawn, yeah. That's a thing. That's coming. That's coming. And I love Jamie Foxx. Yeah. Jamie Foxx is a great actor. He always kind of delivers. But Michael Jai White's Spawn was awesome. Yeah. You know,
I wish somebody wrote, and I kind of agree with it. They wish that I forgot the voice actor from the Gargoyles that played the main guy, but he was the voice in the animated series. I was like, it'd be so cool if they could use his voice again. Yeah,
he passed away, right?
I think so. Yeah,
I think he did pass away.
Yeah.
What was that guy's name? He played Hawk. He played they used to this old show back in the 80s called Spencer for Hire. You remember that show? Hawk was his sidekick, bald dude. Everyone loved Hawk. And my mom was like, Hawk on. I was like, the show's not even called Hawk. It's called Spencer for Hire. Like, Hawk on. But it was such a great show, and he does have that very iconic voice, man.
Yep. Voice actors, passing of James Earl Jones, very sad. Yes, that's so sad. But I read that he gave the rights to Lucasfilm for his voice to permanently and forever be Darth Vader. And he did, before he passed away, I guess he went into a sound booth, recorded a bunch of lines for the role of Darth Vader. And they gave him rights to use AI to replicate his voice. And I think for me, I was just like, thank God. Like, because he is like, I mean, Mufasa and Darth Vader and the dad from Coming to America. I mean, he's had such epic roles, but Darth Vader for sure.
Man, I don't know how I feel about that, about him. You know, if he's obviously he does what he wants to do, but I don't know how I feel about using somebody's voice after they're dead. You know, like if he signed it or not. You know, just like let it.
It's his legacy, though.
Yeah, I guess so. But let someone else do it. Now he's dead. Let him. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. And of course I'm gonna go watch it. When it comes out. And I was like, oh man. And I'm gonna get the feels when I see it too, as well. So, but I'm on the fence about how I feel about now this guy's not with us anymore, but you're still making money on his.
Well, I bet his family's happy. That's for sure.
Oh yeah,
they're set for life.
And
his grandkids and his kids after that, great grandkids. But I'm still watching Rebels, and just started the second season of Rebels, and Darth Vader just came out, and Ahsoka was introduced, and I think in the first episode of season 2. And so now Ahsoka, the show, is making a lot more sense after watching Rebels. And they're using his voice. And I was like, oh my God. This is like, I don't know. I got chills. I would just get excited about it.
Man. No. Have you, I just don't know how I feel about it. And maybe, it may be one of those things I'm just thinking too much into. But have you watched Rebel Ridge on Netflix?
No.
Rebel Ridge, Aaron Pierre, he's a kind of up and coming actor. He's been in a few things, but he's not one of those like A-list. Like you will see him in everywhere. But he plays a McMap instructor, so Marine Corps martial arts instructor that goes back to the small town because his cousin is arrested. I'm not going to try not to ruin it, but he's trying to basically get his cousin out of jail.
Oh,
and but they go and pull up his info. It's like, you see, he's the Marines. You see, he never did a tour, and it's like, oh, he's not that shit. He ain't shit. Then he can go overseas. But come to find out, he's this McMap instructor that knows all this, all these crazy martial arts, and he's like fucking everybody up. And,
I saw the preview for it, and I was like, very reminiscent of Rambo.
It's so good, dude. It was so good. You remember Walking Tall with The Rock?
Yes.
He did Walking Tall better than The Rock did Walking Tall.
Oh.
It was really good, man. It was, I enjoyed it. And, you know, when you get movies like this, it's Netflix, right? So even though you pay for Netflix, you don't expect to get, like, top tier cinematic masterpieces, right? And I'm not saying this is that, but any, you know, is originally made by Netflix. You know, it was really good, dude. Okay. It was really good, and the fandom and the internet is just going apeshit over this guy. They love him. You know, he's a good-looking cat, so you got that going for him, of course. But then, you know, the movie was actually, and he did great in the movie. It wasn't just, you know, you couldn't. It's not one of those those movies where you can put anybody in there and they're gonna be decent. You know, he did a good job. He's like emotionally, he just like is very present in the movie, and he's is good. It's good. So I expect to see a lot out of him in the future.
I saw a preview for it, and like one of the scenes reminded me of when he's like facing off with the sheriff or whatever, and he's like totally like Rambo. I was like, you just whatever. You just messed with the wrong guy. So it looked good. It looked good.
Don Johnson, plays the sheriff.
Don Johnson, that's it. Yeah,
I was like, man, Don Johnson plays way too good of a bigot in this. I was like, when you think of Don Johnson, you don't think of Don Johnson. You like Miami Vice and kind of like the cooler older guy.
Crockett and Tubbs, man.
Yeah, Crockett right. Yeah, it's like they're very cool, man. But man, he did a good job of being a dickhead in this movie.
Oh man,
which is that's acting, right? Yeah. You know, he's probably a very nice gentleman.
Where are we at with remaking us being the lead actors in Miami Vice?
Miami Vice. They did it once.
Yeah,
it was a piece of shit.
Yeah, was it with Jamie Foxx
and Colin Farrell?
Yeah,
it was not great.
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I was like, again, why? Another example.
Yeah. Why make it?
But come up with your own stuff.
Miami Vice is a little bit different because it wasn't a movie; it was a show.
Yeah,
right. And so, if you do usually movie adaptations of shows, you usually do pretty well. You know, when you do it later. So, you know, because these shows go off air, and you're like, man, you know, now the audience is left wanting. Yeah. And then you like 10, 15 years from now, you do a movie, and it's like, oh shit, let's go watch it.
Yeah.
So just like Entourage, I love the Entourage movie. You know, I thought that they could. I feel like they could have kept that show going for another, 5 seasons, and it would have been cool.
Yeah, we'll go back and watch it along with Suits. I was like,
again. I'm gonna go watch Suits, dude. Yeah. I promise I am. Entourage was good.
Yeah,
love that show.
Yeah,
all that stuff. HBO did a great job of making content back then, like that, and then The Ballers and True Detective. All that stuff was really good. The Wire.
Was it The Wire?
Oz.
True Blood.
Yeah, True. All that stuff. Man, they did a good job.
Yeah.
Well. Man, how are we gonna leave these people off? What we got? What's exciting?
What do we got? Well, we got coming up on, if you're local to Virginia Beach and you now can't go to something in the water, we got a dance competition at the Wyndham Virginia Beach Oceanfront the weekend of October 12th and 13th. So if you're in the dance world community and you want to see something new, I had this idea of this promotional thing of this for this dance competition. I was like, another key to unlocking the beauty of Virginia Beach, the Wyndham Virginia Beach Oceanfront hosting the Arthur Murray Dance Studios ballroom dance competition. Because, dude, the oceanfront. Have you been on the oceanfront lately?
Oh yeah,
dude. The amount of sand, the beach is huge.
Yeah,
huge.
Yeah,
I don't remember it being that big. So they must have just dredged up brought all that sand up because it's like amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it was. All these, we had like a 3-month period where we had like 2 or 3 like whales.
Yeah,
like beach themselves. Yep. So I don't know if that has something to do with it, but they were like, there's something got to be going on.
Something like whether they're doing, somebody said sonar from maybe the subs or carriers or the wind farms that are out there now. So they're doing some construction.
Yeah, those those wind farms are a huge eyesore.
Yeah.
Have you seen them?
No.
You can see them really well from like Sandbridge.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
See them really
we live out that way, so I wish you need to go look.
Yeah, and so I don't know, like, and so clean energy. Oh, is it clean energy or just more energy? Like, I don't.
It's supposed to be clean energy, but it's like the cost ratio. What is it? Cost to profit or whatever, or the amount that it costs to produce versus the amount of an energy that it creates. I don't know if that offsets.
Bro.
Like, so I have somebody who was involved with the energy business, and Dominion's been pushing for the wind farm. So they must have negotiated something with the government. But then research has to do where it doesn't produce that much energy. So I don't know.
Interesting stuff.
But so this guy has an Airstream that I think you need to share with, but tell something about.
Yeah, sure. So Juggernaut Cookies, we have a shop now. So people have been asking us to do a shop for years, and so I started looking at real estate, and commercial real estate in Virginia is super high, and it is locations are not that great. Yeah. And so talking to a buddy, and he said, hey, why don't you do a food truck? And I started doing research on it, long story short. And for what we wanted to accomplish, food truck was great, So I got an Airstream. I have an old school, it's like a 73 Airstream, built it out, gutted it. It's beautiful. And so we bake everything. I bake everything at a commissary kitchen, and then we transport over to this Airstream. Well, the team over at Farmhouse Brewery over in Virginia Beach came to me and said, hey, your cookies are super popular in Hampton Roads. Farmhouse is popular in Hampton Roads. Why don't we collab? And so that's what we did. So if you go to Farmhouse Brewery on Kempsville Road, 1805 Kempsville Road to be exact, you can see the Juggernaut Cookie Airstream.
It looks super cool.
It's very cool. If you go to my Instagram, Juggernaut Cookies Instagram, you can see it. We're open 4 to 8 Monday through Friday and 2 to 8 on Saturday. And we last week was our first week open, and we completely sold out. That's awesome. Sold out over, and Saturday, we sold out Friday. We weren't even able to open Saturday because we sold out Friday. We opened at 4, and by 7:15 we were slam out. I mean, it was a line. Music was great. People were drinking beer, great craft beer, having a really good time. We have cookies, pretzels, like the giant warm pretzels. We have churros. It was awesome. And the vibe was beautiful. So if you're in the Hampton Roads area, especially in Virginia Beach, you know exactly what Farmhouse is. Come on out. New cookies every week. I'm playing with some really cool movie themed recipes. I'm not gonna let it out yet, but we do have some new movies coming out. Venom, and Halloween is coming too. So Sony's gonna be on my ass right after this podcast.
Yeah.
Like, cease and desist, motherfucker.
Or pay us royalties.
But come on out. 1805 Kempsville Road, Virginia Beach.
Cool.
Yeah.
So a couple things we have to look forward to. Also, I'm working on to do set up our little system here to do some live reaction videos to previews of movies, upcoming movies like maybe Venom.
Yeah, Venom looks awesome.
Yeah,
it looks awesome. I wasn't sold on the first trailer, but I saw the third trailer actually today, and man, the whole we're gonna get Null. We're going to get all black. So I am stoked about it. And I don't even know, I don't know if this is it for Venom. Now that this is, Marvel has rights to, Spider-Man. Why not Venom? So we will see. We will see what happens, man. I would love to see Tom Hardy in the MCU.
Yeah. So. Real quick before we bounce out of here. This might be old rumor, but I heard that Zack Snyder is trying to get back into DC.
He is. It's not an old rumor. It's actually pretty new development. So Paramount just inked a deal with DC that will allow them to basically almost like what Sony and Marvel have, the likeness to some characters, some IP. And Zack Snyder is front runner to put some of these projects together, which I love the idea. I don't know if it steps on James Gunn's toes at all.
But it shows that Rebel Moon was maybe kind kind of like an audition for what he can do.
Yeah, that movie sucked.
Well,
not much Zack Snyder does. I don't like.
Yeah.
But that shit sucked.
I'm gonna watch the rated R version. You're
gonna watch it?
I personally enjoyed it. I thought it was. I loved I already shared it. I loved the use of old school, like Western kind of backdrops. I mean, he basically took every film idea and angle and technology and throw it in there, whether it was lack of just a straight up just sheet behind them to CGI. Like, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of a cool kitchen sink cookie kind of movie.
Really? And that's what I actually didn't like about it. I just thought it was like too busy. Okay. It was a lot of stuff happening at the same, like almost, I just didn't, it lost me. It was so busy that I was like just overwhelmed. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to go ahead and try to like muscle through it. But well, there you go.
To each their own. To each their own. And it's okay having your own opinion. So we don't need to get canceled.
Come after us. Try to cancel us. I wish you would. No, don't.
Cool.
All right, man. On behalf of myself and my homeboy Taras, we hope you have a good day. Thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe on all your major podcast platforms, and we will see you on the flip side.